things go our way today, maybe, just maybe, this could be our season. Hello and welcome to Club 6 Part 27 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we are at home against top of the table Tottenham and then away in the second leg of our Champions League knockout round game against Monaco. Since you were last with me, we have continued our sea of green. I assume that ends today because this Tottenham match is going to be our biggest challenge yet. We are slowly closing the gap. Remember, they were 10 points clear of us during the last episode. They're now 8 points ahead of us, and we play them right now. If we win, we'll only be 5 points behind them with 8 games to go. And to me, that means it's on. Plus, obviously, we've got Monaco to contend with. We're 1-0 up from the first leg, but we do have to go to their place. I kind of wonder if we should be prioritising one game over the other. I don't think we've got the squad depth to go down to the wire in both of these competitions. But wouldn't it be delicious if we managed to win them both against all odds? This is the team that we're putting out there for the Tottenham game. So we've got Vice in goal, a back four of Martelot, Felipe, Alex and Suma, with Davidson, Leshy and Henrique in midfield, and then Schaefer in behind Dolberg and Pingu. It's about as close to full strength as we've been at any point in the last 3 months or so. I do hope that doesn't mean the run of bad form begins again, because, you know, when we were down to bare bones, when things were getting desperate, that's when we started playing well. Clearly, we perform when our backs are against the wall. I just hope we can pull a performance out of somewhere when they're in front of the wall. That's a thing. Harry Kane actually playing up front for Tottenham today as well. For most of his last 11 years of his Tottenham career, he's been forced out onto the left wing, and we've always had something to say about that, usually followed by a chuckle. But they are actually playing him up front today, which worries me a little bit, but I wonder if that means they're worried about us. Pingu is in behind with less than a minute on the clock. On the stroke of 1 minute, Pingu puts us 1-0 up against Tottenham, and as it stands right now, we're only 5 points behind our greatest rivals with, mostly 9 games of the season remaining, and we can't get any further points in this one once we've got the 3. But still, this not only closes the gap on them if we manage to beat them today, but it also, it's going to be a massive blow to their confidence, their momentum. I would say if we beat them now, bearing in mind they've already lost a game recently, that's how we closed the first bit of the gap. If they lose 2 games in quick succession, surely they're then going to lose a third and maybe a fourth. And they might be in the throes of bottling it. Remember, they've not won the league for, 40, 50 years at this point? They're going to be a little bit nervous in the nosebleed territory that they're in, and Schaefer hits the post. Obviously, we've not won the league for 20 odd years either, so it's not as if we're the experienced league winning pros. We do have Man United breathing down our necks, and unbelievably Brighton still hovering around in the Champions League spots, and Pingu's in again, and on the stroke of 22 minutes this time, it's Arsenal 2 Tottenham 0. Pingu has decided he wants to win something, which, that's a good thing. At the moment I first saw that man's name when we were still Leicester manager, and we saw that Arsenal had a man called Pingu, then we knew that we wanted him to become a legend of the series. Well, if he can now score the goals that can turn our season around and lead us to an unlikely, I always said Football League, Kev's showing his age, like 25 years ago in the past. But if we can have a really unlikely Premier League win, thanks to Pingu, surely he does then cement himself as the hero of all heroes. Might be getting slightly ahead of myself. There's still quite a big gap between Tottenham and us. Even if we beat them 6-0 today, there's every chance they won't lose another game for the rest of the season. So let's not try to get too excited. But Pingu has just absolutely skinned another man. Schaefer's in the middle, completely unmarked. It's 3-0 before half-time. We're not just beating them, we're thumping them. This is exactly what we needed to do. It wasn't ever going to be enough to come and beat them 1-0 today. 1-0 is just a win. 3, 4, 5, 6-0, that sends a message. That's telling them, you aren't good enough to win the league, Tottenham. You might have a nice big points gap at this point, but look what we can do to you. Perhaps someone else will do that to you as well. I kind of hope they've got to play Man United and maybe Brighton and Chelsea and the other top teams. Pingu, again, we're rampant. It's less than a minute since the last goal, and Schaefer almost there again. It's Davidson still hovering inside the area. Cross comes over, falls to Pingu, squares it to Schaefer, and it is within a minute of the third goal. We have made it 4. Schaefer and Pingu are just combining together today they're basically a two-man team. We don't need anybody else because we've got Schaefer and Pingu, and they are ripping Spurs apart. It's 4-0 before half-time. Surely we can't blow this from here, and I hope we take this kind of form into the Monaco game as well. I have a good feeling. I'm feeling positive thoughts about this save right now. Who'd have thought he's 4-0 up against greatest rivals, top of the team, etc., etc., and suddenly he's feeling positive. Doesn't take a lot to make Kev happy, does it? Well, this is making me happy. Long may it continue. I mean, wouldn't it be marvellous if we could just... Oh, I know it feels a bit backdoor Kevish to rush at the Premier League title from a 10-point gap, but... can we do it any other way? Pingu's in again. Pingu has his hat-trick. What a goal it was as well. Imagine being an Arsenal fan and experiencing this right now. Imagine being a Tottenham fan and experiencing this right now. Tottenham were 10 points clear at the top of the league. Everybody knew they had it wrapped up. They've come to the Emirates. 50 minutes in, it is 5-0 to Arsenal. I mean... this is crazy town. We had a fantastic performance earlier in the season. Was it against Chelsea or was it against Man United when we just looked brilliant? And on our day, we can be brilliant. And clearly today is one of those days where we've assembled one of the best midfields in the world. We have 2 real top-level strikers when we can keep them fit. We don't need to worry about defenders. Defenders are for losers. If you play well enough going forward, you don't need defenders. As shown by those stats, Tottenham have only had 3 shots because we're not letting the ball get anywhere near our defence, so it doesn't matter how ropey they might be. Pingu to Dolberg. Schaefer has his hat-trick now as well. And on 54 minutes, it is Arsenal 6. Tottenham 0. I apologise profusely to those of you who are watching because you're Tottenham fans, because you picked up the save last year when we were all conquering with Tottenham. I know it's not right to do this to you. You were here to see a successful Tottenham side, and look what I'm doing to them. But, it feels good to... I feel vindicated. I want to go back and put an extra thumbs up on all those comments saying, Kev, you never should have left Leicester. Kev, Arsenal was a step down. Kev, what were you thinking? What I was thinking is that any time now we'd be 7-0 up against Tottenham after 55 minutes. That's what I was thinking. What is happening? This is utterly ridiculous. This isn't supposed to happen. I'm actually starting to worry that we're wasting some goals now. We should be saving some of these for Monaco. We've got to play Man United yet as well. Obviously, the run-in is far from over. We're still 5 points behind them. But if you remember from yesterday's episode, one of my big concerns was goal difference. They had a 20-goal advantage on goal difference 3 games ago. That gap is down to like 4 goals at this point. This is it's now a 12-goal swing in one match. It was a 14-goal swing. But, goodness me, let's just keep scoring. Let's make goal difference so it's not an issue anymore. We've already gone past Man United on goal difference, I think. Let's just continue to chip away at Tottenham. Let's get to double figures. I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh, bless him. He doesn't know what to do with scoring that goal. So, at the moment, Tottenham's goal difference is 36 and both us and Man United on 32. So, we're right in the mix for goal difference now, which is awesome. I don't even know who to take off. I guess we take off Schaefer and Pingu. They've done their work today. Oh, Bill Robbins. I forgot about Bill Robbins. I mean, who better to bring on than Bill Robbins, who has a message to send Tottenham, and Tommy Merson, the man who was born in the changing rooms of Highbury. Let's bring Junior David on as well. Let's do a triple. Let's bring on another one of our homegrown lads. David can come on for Leshy, and Bill Robbins has got to get a goal, surely. It must be written in the stars that Bill Robbins has got a hat-trick in him yet today, just to send Tottenham that message that they never should have let him go. They should have given him a chance. They never even gave him an opportunity. And they were giggling when they got 4 million out of us for him. Well, he's already scored several important goals for us this season. The goal difference is swinging back the other way. This is troublesome. I'm disappointed now it's only 7-2. Come on, Bill Robbins. I'd accept 8-7 if Robbins gets the goal, because it would just be sweet. It would be delicious. I don't know why Tottenham are bothering to still attack. I think they've cottoned on to the fact that goal difference might be crucial. So they're just trying to maintain their goal difference advantage now, because it's back to a 6-goal advantage on goal difference now, when it was almost level. Each one of these goals obviously counting double for closing that gap up. So they are, although at 7-0 down, you might have thought, oh, well, that's it, there's no point. There is actually a benefit to them clawing back some of these goals while we're acting a little bit complacently. And we never even noticed that Robbins was on the pitch. But all in all, I think it has to be said, that was a good performance. Now hopefully we can go and have another good performance against Monaco. No changes for the Monaco game, obviously. But one thing I wanted to show you before we get into it, exciting news. We have a player from our youth team who's never played for us in the full England squad. Omar McMillan is an 18-year-old keeper. He only came through the youth team a couple of seasons ago. While I was at the club, Omar McMillan appeared. He's been out on loan at Portsmouth last season, Aston Villa this year, playing in the Championship at aged 18. He's already valued at £10 million. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. We might have a proper superstar future goalkeeper on our hands. And he's, like I say, already in the full England squad, which is nuts. Right, let's get into the Monaco game. It's all been very positive so far. I have a feeling it might be all about to go wrong. But you know what? At this point, I would take a loss now if we could win the league. As much as we always say, the save ends when we win the Champions League. That's the goal. We want to win the Champions League. Really want to win the league. I want to do it in the right order. I don't want to win the Champions League this year and end the save having never won the Premier League. That just seems mad. Leshy is in, puts us 1-0 up, and that is an absolutely crucial goal because that's our away goal as well. So we were 1-0 up from the first leg, now 2-0 up on aggregate, 1-0 up on the night, and we're away from home. That goal is massive. Leshy wanted big European nights, and now he's going out there and earning one for himself. Enrique's picked up an injury. We have got Junior David sat down on the bench. Oh, and now Pingu's going off as well. All of our stars are going off. Right, Pingu's got to go off. On comes Bill Robbins to play in the Champions League. I mean, that's an odd situation. I still think his story is one that I kind of want to continue to explore over the next season or two, because I just think he's going to be a star. And Monaco have now equalised on the night. So it's certainly not all over. Monaco are going to be more difficult competition than Tottenham were, especially without Pingu. Pingu got 3 goals, 3 assists in the game against Tottenham. So it was very much the Pingu show. Whereas obviously now we have no Pingu. And it's always the way with these two strikers. We have 2 absolute top-level world-class strikers, but I could probably count on one hand the number of times they've both been fit and in the team at the same time. They are both so injury prone, which is why we have Robbins and Sandu and Willis knocking around to come into the team. And I think what we really need is a third world-class striker to supplement Pingu and Dolberg, because as soon as one of them gets a knock, we're on to the promising youngsters. And one of them might end up being awesome. I still hope that Robbins might go on to become a superstar, because I think the story will be brilliant if he does that. But he's 24 now and hasn't started to fulfil that potential yet. So sooner or later, you just have to take the potential away. Surely Monaco have missed some absolute sitters already. We're half an hour in and we could be 3-1 down quite easily, based just on that little passage of play. And I mean, we were in control until Pingu went off. Pingu's gone off and we are a little bit lost. We look a little bit out of our depth, which again gives you the context at how good the French league has got over the last 11 seasons, how good Monaco are as a team, because we're challenging for the Premier League title and we're struggling. We're really struggling against Monaco now. It's 2-1. We're 2-1 down on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. We obviously do have the away goal, so we are still ahead by a smidgen on the tie overall, but it is just a smidgen. And I think we need to get Enrique off at half time because he is struggling. He's not playing well. He's picked up that knock, and hopefully we're not going to be having to come out and chase in the second half. But we have not played very well in that first half. We've looked a little bit Tottenham-y based on how they were in that last game against us. just rubbing it in even further for any Tottenham fans who didn't turn off partway through the last match. Right, we're bringing David on for Enrique. I don't want to have to make a third substitution anytime soon because I'm a little bit afraid. Because I don't want to go into the last 40 minutes of the match with no opportunity for substitutes. But we are going to have to change things up if they continue to come at us the way they are. They've had 3 clear-cut chances to ours, 0. They've dominated possession. They've dominated every stat. Looking through those stats, Monaco are beating us for absolutely everything. They are comfortably the better team tonight. And we need to sort of shake ourselves up a little bit and pull ourselves together. And I know this is where... Oh, we've given away a penalty. I know a lot of you will say, Kev, this is where you should be using the touchline shouts. I ain't using no touchline shouts. I genuinely don't think they make a difference. So there's no point in using them. I've won plenty of games without having to use them, so I won't start using them now. But we are now 3-1 down. I'm behind in the tie for the first time in the entire tie. All the momentum is with Monaco. I mean, I did just make a deal with the Football Manager gods. I assume if this is how it ends, then we are going to go and win the league because the Football Manager gods will make it so. I hope Tottenham are still in the Champions League and are going to have a deep run in that and focus their attention on that. And I don't care if they go and win that while we win the league. That's fine. This is the one that I really want. Let's get Tommy Merson on. Come on, Tommy. Do something special. Obviously, if we can grab a goal now, it puts us back ahead on away goals because Monaco have 0 away goals. So a second goal for us now does put us ahead in the tie again, even though we'd still be behind on the night. Merson, forward to Dolberg. Come on, we must have a goal in us somewhere. Dolberg's been very quiet across both of these games today. Robbins can't... I mean, he's not a Champions League quality player yet. And that is the big problem with our squad, lack of depth up front. Robbins, Dolberg is in space in the middle, but Robbins decides to go it alone and we really should have squared it for Dolberg, who was just in an absolute pile of space. And I don't think we're getting back into this, boys and girls, because time is pretty much run out. Well, that's been a bit of a roller coaster an episode, hasn't it? Have we got a last minute equaliser in this? No, we haven't. There you go then, we're out of the Champions League. We now focus our attentions fully on winning the Premier League. And that's going to be the focus of, I guess, tomorrow's episode might even be like the final couple of games. Because looking at the run-in now, I don't necessarily want to show you Man United straight away. Because there's not much, I might even just go straight into... We'll figure it out. I'll show you matches when it becomes interesting to show matches. I think is probably the best way. If you've enjoyed that today, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.